It rains, it rains. Stereotypical. All in my veins I get a blood rush from the judgmental claim. See, it pleases to see all my people just reign over every other tribe, shook and jive from the ism of the nepotism. Thrive, give a job to a relative. You are never getting hired saying, what's this? At one. Oh Lord, my God, the mentality's wrong. When will your people rise? Mistaking hypocrisy for being wise. See, in Africa, violence and poverty's rife. Who is to blame? Really, let's take a peek. They have no shame. I call them injusticely governments hovering over my people. Please give them a plate of the freedom they're begging. My knees are to the floor. I be hungering for more of the spirit to awaken in my people. Don't ignore that he's moving. Let him intrude in your body and soul to renew your sore spirit and soul, to make way for the new mindset, ever fresh in the morning. Mildew rolling in the city, looking pretty in a petty suit, hunger for the green. You live inside a petting zoo. Yeah. It is a tragic reality. We got a leader in question, like, what is he doing? Soon as he falls sick, we be wishing his ruin. It's evil that people endorse tribalism. Poverty's a sickness and so is religion. What are we gonna change? I'm starting with me. Let's make up a change up in Africa, please. Tribalism is so heavy in my country with nepotism. The despotism be running it with heavy schism. A general already spoke of the cancer given, the one who rose to the throne of the presidency. The residents speak of evil on the president's seat. The precedence leaks of myths of an altar that keeps every soul. So your goal is to only retreat. You can't surrender the power. There is might in the greed. The violence needs to feed off the fear of the weak. It takes strength to give up what you thought you will need. Drinking only from the cup of the humble and meek. The vitamins needed. B-I-B-L to the E, a feast of only the holiness, the spiritual feed. In the presence of the Lord to get rid of the deep problem we most face is the sin that we keep. Lord, I'm trying to move in a mission, but it's hard to evangelize the people in a prison that is guarded by sin. Label me a starved artist. I hunger for your freedom and release from the warden. See, tribalism is a choice. Your heart so cold can't hear God's voice. He spat you out for your lukewarmness. Skywalk it, but you never feel the force. Watch, dog, you're gonna get caught with a dead man's wife. Leave a seed, of course. Rumor mill, that's what we're feeding off, dear God. Let it not be true that all people is evil and don't need to listen to gospel, cause secular listen by Christians. Gravity gradually pulling us down. You see oceans with motion, we let our faith be weak. Consider the mathematic mayhem that many do not consider when it comes to raising the youth. I have heard many an adult complain that we have forsaken and forgotten our roots, that we show no interest. How can one invest in their history that remains a mystery when schools taught us that the Western culture was the winning side and that Shaka Zulu was evil? We don't do Ubuntu because Ubuntu was lost in the slave trade, and that is why we exchange unity for stability of self and continue playing these selfish games. Being rooted is taboo. Just wear a traditional mask and have facial paintings on Dembo and watch how these missionaries will call you evil, and yet we praise their existence. As soon as a white man walks into the room, inferiority complexes are handed down to my people, so much so that they developed a dependency syndrome, a hand-me-down attitude, and in this they spew hatred towards their own kind and kill any showing of progress that your own people make. Now tell me, is this race not doomed? Spray the corpses of Africa with Target because their ancestors have been such a pestilence. I reckon you will spray their children with expensive perfumes just to make them forget that their heritage has been a pest in silence. Spare me the time. Spare me the time to explain just what good missionaries have done when they misused the representation and relationship we are meant to have with God and replaced it with religion and gave it to us. A divisive mechanism. Taught me to be tribalist and stereotypical towards my own people. And yet we practice the separation technique so much that intertribal marriages have lost their chemistry. Now tell me, is this what it means to be Christian if the hatred is this deep? I have so much to say, yet so little time, but I implore you, Be united with the brother or sister next to you. Color does not matter, because being rooted and being unified is divine. Thank you.